Episode 80. This is the episode everyone's been waiting on for a while, I think.
Yeah, man. Like, all the fans have been, like, very patient about this episode. They knew it was coming, and then we took, like, 51 breaks, and then we had a special camp episode with a guest, Luke Sutton, shout out.
We also had the Murph special episode.
Then we had the Murph that we forgot that we had to do. And so we finally arrived to episode 80, which it just seems appropriate for this to be, like, when it's like a solid number, you know?
Yeah.
For a solid podcast.
Yeah. 80 is quite an accomplishment.
Yeah, I mean, that's like an episode a week for over a year, man.
Mm-hmm.
Dang close to 2 years, even though we've been doing this for 3.
Yeah. I was just thinking about that, too, because we've had at least 3 youth camp specials, I think.
Dang. And when do we start? We started a new season at the beginning of the year, right?
Yes.
I know we're supposed to be taking a break somewhat soon.
Yeah.
And then the winter break, obviously, and then we'll start on season 4.
Heck yeah.
So, but let's get right into it.
We need like a special like sound then
for this one.
Mm-hmm.
Like wah,
wah, and then like
wah,
some like iPad sound. The GameCube.
I don't know how it goes.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't have the correct energy for this episode because I'm so tired.
Bro, me too.
But
I got home.
Yeah.
I jumped in the pool. I probably still smell like the pool.
Jumped in the pool.
And then it got real cloudy, and I was like, dang, it's cold in here. So then I got out, and then the sun came out, so then I laid there. So I'm like, kind of tired. Let the sun drain me a little bit.
So you're pretty baked right now. Is that what you're saying?
Kind of baked.
Kind of baked. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just tired. I don't know. Last night I felt like I just did not sleep. And then, like, I woke up at, like, 5:45 or something. And my first alarm was, like, 6:15.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like when I lay back down, I definitely didn't go back to sleep type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's nothing worse, man.
There really isn't.
I hate it. I hate when that happens. But, like, dude, you wake up at, like, 4. And I'm like, okay, that's solid. Or, like, 2:33. I'm cool with waking up at that time.
Me too.
And then I go back to bed. I'm like, I'm good to go. But anyways, you have anything else to say before we just unload?
No. I just got something in my eye.
Speaking of iPad babies, okay?
What a topic.
I hope we can like just really chow down on this. I feel like when we first mentioned it that we definitely could have like really just unloaded and probably talked for a good hour. I feel like now, since like so much time has dwindled out since then, I feel like our thoughts have dwindled out.
Maybe.
And so I feel like my thoughts are not as collected as they were that night, which is odd, even though I actually wrote some stuff down. But either way, yeah.
Let's explain what an iPad baby. Was that one of your questions? What is an iPad baby?
Yeah, and I looked up a definition for us, man.
Definition?
Yeah. That's how bad it is.
It's in the Urban Dictionary?
Like, it has a definition.
Okay.
So, what is an iPad baby? An iPad baby is basically a child who, instead of getting to play with physical toys, going outside, or socialize with other people their age, is essentially plopped down in front of an iPad to keep from bugging their parents. That last sentence, dude, can keep bugging their parents, and that goes straight into my next question, which was how are iPad babies made, and to me that last sentence,
parents.
Yeah, the parents they don't want to be bugged, so instead of them getting bugged, they bug their kids with technology.
Yeah. So some instances I can think of an iPad baby. And there's no way, I don't even know these people, so there's no way for me to name drop them. But on certain nights, if you go to Whataburger, you know what I'm talking about?
No.
If you go to Whataburger,
I've been in a while.
there's there's some people that will show up, and what they do is they go sit at a table, and then they send their kids to a different table with iPads.
I feel like I've seen this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've seen them at Dairy Queen. I've seen them at Whataburger.
Are they like more like teenagers?
The kids? The kids? I mean, they're like probably preteens.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Okay.
But it's like, you're not even preparing your kid to be social. Like, you're literally like, hey, you don't even sit with us. You go sit at your own table on your iPad and, like, leave us alone.
Let us adults talk.
Yeah, how about you, like, get your kids to engage with the people you're sitting with? You know, let them learn some social skills.
Yeah.
You know?
That's like, you know, people say the homeschoolers are antisocial, man. It's the, I mean, they could be homeschoolers as well, but typically I feel like just in general, but like just those people, those kids, they're going to be the most antisocial. But yet, what is oddly enough, because this kind of goes into the gaming world or like Fortnite and stuff, but the online play or whatever of things, and you had the headset and you talk, like they will socialize and talk with people.
That's true.
But they will never be able to socialize in a personal setting where you're with somebody. You know what I mean? It's like someone on Instagram or someone who's texting. They're always be way different. Like I feel like on Instagram you can be. I mean, you're just different persona of you. But then whenever you're out in the real world, that's what I think. Like with Instagram, you know, it's so fake. It's like you see these people like, wow, they're really cool, they're really living their life, blah blah blah. Then you see them in real life, and it was literally just the angle in the picture. It just looked like they're really having a good time. And I feel like that's kind of how it is with like iPad babies or like online gaming is. You seem like you're having this great time and like you can talk to people, but then when it like comes down to the wire or like the real stuff, you ain't gonna have that social skill.
Right. Yeah. And like my thing is like if you're out at a restaurant eating with me, you're gonna be eating with me.
Yeah.
I feel like we had this conversation about like AirPods too. Like
yeah, I think it was the same day we talked about iPad babies.
What was it?
When I mentioned that I was eating with y'all at a Chili's and I saw this mom sitting there, and I've seen this at 2 different places before. A mom be sitting there and then their kid sitting there with headphones on and their phone. Mm-hmm. I'm like, dude,
that's not happening.
Like I almost get it when you're like a parent and you have 2 kids and they're both on their phone. Cause like I don't know, I still don't get it, but like they're both on the phone. But like if you're a parent, especially just you are out with your kid and it's just one of your kids, like man, talk to them. Right. You know, like that's your kid. You want to like build a relationship. But if you're just giving them the phone the whole time, again, like when it comes to the socialness of it, they're not gonna know how to talk to you whenever like they need to. So, yeah. And like in my line of work, it's funny. Like if I had to go to a trouble ticket, like where the internet's not working, and it's funny because when I get there and the internet's not working, at least like in the summertime, all the kids are inside or like either outside doing something or they're just inside not doing anything. And like you would talk to the parents like, man, that's the only time I can get my kids to come downstairs for like dinner or whatever is I unplug the internet. Like, yeah, that's sad.
That is sad.
It's terrible.
Like that goes back to discipline too. What do you mean that's the only way?
Yeah.
What do you mean that's the only way? How about you go in there and whoop their butt?
Amen. You know what I'm saying? Amen.
Anyways, this isn't about discipline.
It's about iPad babies.
This is about, yeah. That's what I was going to say too. Like, why would, like, technology is like, that's always going to be there. Mm-hmm. In a way. Like, you can, like, game and stuff when you're older. Like, once you get your own life going and stuff, you can choose to be a gamer or whatever. Like, how about you go outside? Like, how about you, like, work that creativity, the imagination of your child?
Yeah.
You know?
And that's, like, a lot of the negative effects of it is, like, just brain clogging, clouding, and, yeah, you lose that creativity real fast because, man, kids are, I know they're not mature or anything, but they're incredibly smart as far as creativity goes, like, because of the imagination. And the sooner you give them a cell phone or whatever, that imagination is just gone. It just the faster it goes is with the younger the age you give it to them and stuff.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, there's pros and cons. I mean, because there are games like Minecraft that you could use your imagination on.
yeah, my brain's still turned into mush playing.
But too much of it.
Yeah.
It's about limitations. Anything.
That's really the key word is limitation. Because, like, even when you said, like, when you're an adult, you can play games, whatever. Even as a kid, you can. I mean, I'm not saying it's something terrible to do. But, like, the definition of the iPad baby, again, is, you know, giving it to them so they're not bugging you. And the fact that the iPad baby is a kid or a baby that's, like, in that constant state of having to have it this close to their face at all times. Whereas, it's alright, like, I mean, I had an iPod when I was younger, but I wasn't always on it. Like, I was normally outside. So there was a time and a place. I mean, you're on a long car ride. What are you going to do if you don't have an iPhone or something, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, let's sleep.
Yeah. And what it goes to also is, like, especially, like, in the summer, a kid, it's like, how about, this is what you do. This is a good tip. While they're home during the day, you play outside. You go play outside. When it gets dark, you can come in. You can play on your phone, on your Xbox, whatever it is you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, I get that too. Like, okay, if it's dark outside, it's dark outside.
Yeah, you ain't gonna do that much outside anyways.
But it doesn't just have to be out. It's not all about outside. I mean, there's toys. Albeit, I feel like toys are not what toys used to be.
No.
Anyways.
I don't even know if there's many kids that actually have toys.
I know,
unless it's like a hoverboard, you know.
And the thing is, I think it's a proven thing that as generations we get less. What's the word where you your attention? You get less attentive, I guess. Like you lose your attention.
Like your attention
quicker.
Span?
Yeah, I think I think generations are just losing it. So I get that too. Because the toy. You can only do so much with the toy, but also you can do so much with the toy.
Dude.
You know what I mean? So it's and with a phone, you can always go download a new game. You know, you can do this. It can be new.
There's always a new.
Yeah, and it's once you get tired of it, you can delete that game and download a new one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Also, man, there's a good thing that's a passcode on your Apple Store and stuff, because it's Xboxes and stuff where you're already logged in or something. I've heard of stories where kids buy $300 worth of a game and didn't even realize because they're just not mature enough to, or just didn't realize that it costs money. Yeah, I'm like, man, as a parent, ooh, man, I'd be mad.
Yeah.
And then back to the toy thing, man. When I was younger, I had so many different toys, and dude, I had the main character that I always liked to play with. That was that's me, that's my dude. Yeah. And I would have a series, basically like a show, episodes or whatever. And dude, it got tense and it got intense. I had a season finale where I pretty much my dude died, and then last minute post credit scene. Hand comes out of the ground or whatever. He's like, he's alive. Or dude, he'd freaking die. He'd be dead for a whole season.
Yeah. Yeah,
man. And then the end of that season comes and you see him what? And then he's a part of the next season, man. That's creativity I had.
Yeah.
I was smart with it. I was a good director.
I remember I think it was at your house. Or it might have been my house. There was we had the tall fire station thing.
Yeah, it was my house.
It was your house.
We had what were they called, man? Rescue Heroes.
Rescue Heroes. Yeah, they had a whole giant fire station, but
we had a police officer, we had a fireman, and then I had a monkey.
Yeah. It was an orange spacesuit or something.
Yeah, I got it from my uncle apparently for my my first birthday or something like that. So that was the only toy that I can remember that was actually mine. And I didn't play with that monkey a whole lot, and then I found out that I got it from my uncle for my birthday, and it became one of my favorite characters.
One of your favorite characters.
He used to be the bad guy, actually. He's King Kong, you know.
Yeah. And then I'm pretty sure you got one first. Didn't you get one of the first Ninjagos? With the spinning thing?
Maybe. Did it have look like a zip tie or something?
Yeah. And
I think so. I don't know if I got the first one, but
I might have got one and then you got one. I don't know.
It's always back and forth.
Anyways, I mean, I'm not saying I didn't play video games. I also played a lot of video games.
When we had that DS and 3DS.
You play on that. Cause like I remember like going to like y'all's basketball games and stuff and taking my DS.
Understandable.
Because like basketball is not my thing, and my parents would be there for like 3 or 4 games.
Yeah, it was an all-day thing.
But I mean, a DS is not gonna last that long. I feel like they didn't like say charge.
Life?
Yeah, they probably didn't say charge super long.
Probably not. And even like when we had the 3DS, because the 3DS is so revolutionary, you know. I'm pretty sure it's probably like why we're all half blind, honestly.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Nintendo.
But, like I remember when we had it, I can think of like multiple videos that we made, and guess what? Every single one of them was outside.
Yeah.
I remember making videos outside at your house where we were like swinging, you like swing into the camera or whatever, and then like jumping off on the trampoline and stuff. But I remember all those videos were outside. I don't know. It was just like, especially when growing up, when I hung out at one of my friend's house, we were always outside, especially the Lyles.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because they had a lot of land. Like, there was just so much to do because, you know, they had ponds, a dirt bike or a golf cart, a swimming pool as well, and trampoline. Like, they had, and then all the pallets that we ruined, man. And then hay bales. Like, there was just a bunch of things for a country boy to do, you know? So
Good old country kid.
Good old country kid. So there's just always something to do. And then at your house or my house, we always had a trampoline, and we spent hours jumping, just jumping up and down for no good reason.
Or riding the ripsticks outside.
Shoot, our parents, you know how they discipline us? They knew that we liked soda, so they made us walk like 3 miles to get a soda.
We walked to Golden Grocery all the time.
That was the stupidest thing we've ever done. It was like a great time, but like. Yeah, but like only because like you walk all the way over there and you spend like, you know, maybe $3 or something for donut sticks and, you know, a Big Blue. That's what I normally get. And then like you barely finish it. Like you're so tired. Like you get there and you're ready for it and you get that refreshment, you drink it, you eat it. Like, dude, I'm good to go.
Yeah.
And then you gotta walk 3 miles back or whatever. Probably like 2 miles. But you gotta walk like the 2 miles back and then you're like, well, kind of want a refreshment again. But you would never buy 2 because we didn't have that money.
And it like didn't matter. Like it'd be a dead of summer. We're still going.
I remember Tim throwing up, dude.
Yeah.
I remember him throwing up when we went over there. Side topic. He left
Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gave him a big old hug Saturday night.
Yeah, I felt a little bad because I was talking to my cousin, Jimena. And we're having a pretty good conversation just about vacations and stuff, like vacation place to go. And but I told him earlier in the day, I said, hey, because he told me he was leaving the next day. I was like, hey, before you leave, find me and let me know because I want to tell you bye. So it's all right. So when he was leaving, he came up to me whenever I was talking to her. So I didn't really get to talk a whole lot, but I was like, hey, man, wish you the best of luck. I love you, and I'll be praying for you. Best of luck. Thanks. You know, that super deep voice. So, but yeah, gonna miss that guy. Gonna miss him.
Yeah, he came up to me. He's like, "Steven, later, man." I was like, at the moment, he's like, "Oh, okay." And he gave me a hug. That was so funny. I'm like, "Brian, come on now."
That's crazy too.
I was like, "Come back, dude."
I was talking, or Jared, he's in our class, young married class, and he was talking about how they told him like whenever he goes to basic training or whatever, to show up with nothing, and like whatever you have, like they're gonna get rid of it. Like whatever you're wearing, they're gonna get rid of it. So like literally show up with nothing. I was like, dang, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That man was not an iPad baby.
No, not at all.
He was not.
Not at all. I don't think Lyles know the. I don't think they know the definition of an iPad baby.
No, most definitely not. And that's another thing, you know. I feel like they're well off and whatnot. Very humble people, we'll say that. My cousins. But I always thought it was like, and I think another reason why we did so much outside is because like they had a TV in one room of their house, of their big house. They had one TV in the one room, and the only time I remember that TV ever turning on was after 9 o'clock, or like whenever it's dark. Normally, it was Scotty and Yolanda watching a movie, and we could just watch it with them, or they'll let us watch something. It was only DVDs. It was the Angel Play or whatever.
Yeah.
and they never had Netflix. Not until I was probably like 14 or 15. Now they did get the original Netflix,
discs, yeah,
the disc
in the mail.
And I remember watching some movies with Judd and Tim and you, of course, many times like that. But yeah, it was always DVD. They didn't have satellite TV, like direct TV. If we wanted to watch TV, we went to their nannies down the road.
I only did that like twice.
We did it a couple times, but even then, like, we didn't do that much.
Yeah, she always give us a Coke.
Yep, and it was always Coca-Cola.
Yep.
And if there was a Dr. Pepper, Judd always took it.
Yep.
But so yeah, now, I think that's another reason why we just always were outside. And that's what I mean. I remember, like, I think when they got the Xbox, they were trying to play Minecraft, and I remember like Annual started telling us, "No, y'all need to go outside and go play or something."
Yeah.
And you just go find something to do, somehow, some way.
Oh yeah, for sure. Also, we got those. There was a moment in time when we had like Nerf swords.
Yeah, I still have mine somewhere around my parents.
I don't think those were pretty cool.
We should bring those back.
Nerf, bring back the swords. They might still make them.
I would love to do like a Nerf battle, like how you do like paintball,
Yeah.
but like Nerf. But I think it'd be so awesome to do that like in the church. I think we kind of tried that one time when we did one of our videos, and Matthew brought some Nerf guns. We didn't really have the war,
but
like
upstairs.
Yeah, but like that'd be awesome to do that. Like we just honestly, we should do that like with the bonfire guys at some point.
Yeah,
just like have them come to the church and
you know, like Luke and Samuel are gonna buy like the most expensive Nerf guns.
It's gonna be awesome. And it's like
we're all gonna get whooped.
They're gonna make like their own bullets that are like probably lethal.
Yeah, and like Sam's gonna have some reason for like why it doesn't count if it hits him. Okay, does that count? Yes, Sam, it counts.
You pulled the trigger before you saw me.
Yeah.
What? Rules are rules, man.
Yeah,
rules are
rules.
rules.
Are rules, bro.
So how do you reduce or reverse the effects of an iPad baby?
Like once it's been created?
Once it's been created. Like the damage has already been done.
Man, like, you just gotta go cold turkey.
Ooh, cold turkey.
Yeah, okay, so like, if this child is like, you can't take that thing away from him.
Glued.
He's glued. You take it away.
Yeah.
You take it away, and then you tell them to go do something, and then if they don't do it, you whoop them. Well, you talk to them first. I mean, you don't just like go straight into whooping them. Like, look, this is the deal. You're spending too much time on this thing. I don't want your brain to rot. You're a child. Don't waste your youth. You know, that's another thing it's about. Don't waste your youth, right? Are you going on a?
Amen.
Don't waste your youth. Go outside. Find something to play. Grab a frog or something. You know?
Right?
Yeah.
Go catch a copperhead.
I don't know.
No, really, don't do that.
Don't do that. I mean, you know, go have fun, and then, you know, once it gets dark, you can come inside and play for a little bit. For a little bit. Moderation. And that's what it is. You know? Like, maybe you can play for like an hour before bed. Maybe an hour, depending on what time.
And that's another thing. You gotta like remember like blue light and stuff. Like I've heard that like you need to cut blue light before an hour before you go to bed.
Yeah.
So if you go to bed at 10, you need to be off your phone, TV at 9. I can't even do that. That's difficult. But like the cold turkey thing, I think like if you did do that for your kid or whatever, like if you did cold turkey, like say they're just really glued, I think you should do cold turkey for like a good solid 2 weeks. And I mean like nothing.
Nothing?
Like nothing. Make them play outside. When it gets nighttime, it'd be good for you as well, but like play cards, I don't know, find something else. Or even be like, hey, dude, let's just go to bed early, which probably will not happen. Probably won't work. But like, just find something, or even let them watch TV, but like with you or something, you know, that way you're kind of monitoring it, and then slowly wing them back into it, like where they can still have it, and be like, kind of how you said, you know, maybe just a night, or you can have it for like an hour every day. You can choose what time.
My parents did that for a while.
Yeah, but then that has to be intense. I think though the most effective way, and this is like all the way around painful. But say it's an iPad.
You get rid of that sunblock. Is that what you're gonna say?
No, not just get rid of it, because when you take it away from them, they'll be like, oh, like there's hope. You grab it from them and you break it across your knee.
Dude.
Like you're gonna lose money and like that's
you're
gonna
breaking
suck.
your wallet.
Yeah, I know, but when they physically see it break, like it's gonna break their heart, and they're gonna be like, "Crap! What have I done? I used this too much, and it's gone." Yeah. And then you go buy them a new one.
We'll try again in 3 years, dude.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, if I did that, it would have to be like one that's already like, not that really good. Do it in like October, and then for Christmas, like, hey, here's another one. But that's, hypothetically, if I'm rich, I don't think that's gonna happen. So
it's funny too. Like we probably should have made the disclaimer first about don't hold any of this against us.
Yeah,
with our children.
Yeah, because I'm I'm about to have a kid, and I'm like so scared I'm gonna.
This is the thing.
Messing up with that.
If we're saying all this, and then this is a thing. Actually, this is a good tip. If you see our kids acting this way, approach us nicely. But hey, remember that podcast you made? Like, don't come at us because that's just not nice.
Play it back.
But maybe we're not realizing it. Because there's a lot of parents that maybe just don't realize that it's happening.
Yeah. I think there is, but like for me, I think like the real definition of iPad baby, those are the parents that know it, but they just don't give a dang. Like they just don't have enough care for their kids. And they're also the ones that the kids that might be yelling back at you or something, just being disrespectful. And
if they're yelling and being disrespectful, you whoop them.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I feel like the iPad baby kids are the ones that happens and they don't get any discipline whatsoever.
Yeah, probably so. They just get what they want, like an iPad at the age of 2. Yeah,
exactly.
This is what I'm saying. Though. Another way to just like not do it is you leave it at home. All right, we're going to eat. The iPad's not coming.
That's honestly like, ideal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the iPad is for when we're at home. Or if we're going to church, the iPad's not coming.
Definitely.
Like, we're not taking the iPad in church.
Especially in church.
Or where's another place?
Eating.
Yeah, I said eating out, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or even like, well, no. I was even like over to a friend's house. At a friend's house, it's fine. But if the friend has kids, they need to go play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All I'm saying is too, though, in the future, when you have kids and whatnot, and you send them to my house, you gonna know how it's gonna be, and I know how it's gonna be.
That's right. They're gonna be outside on the trampoline. That's what's gonna happen.
Hey, that's exactly what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
We ain't got a trampoline. Well, we'll get a piece of tarp, make it really, really tight, put some springs on it. We'll make it work.
Yeah.
Probably won't bounce good, but.
And like Nerf guns is a good way because they don't hurt. Like just run around. Maybe don't run in the house, but like go around, shoot each other. I don't care.
Go shoot each other. It's for fun.
What was I gonna say? Yeah. You send a kid over to my house, they have to stay the night or whatever. They're going to be outside, and then once it gets dark, they come in and watch a movie or something, But then you're going to bed.
Yeah. Don't keep me up.
And you're not taking the iPad to bed.
That's number one. Like,
well, I say that, but we watch TV a lot, too. Bradley, like, when Bradley and Connor were doing, they always have the TV on.
I know, and I hated sleeping at your house. But that's because of me. Like, I cannot fall asleep with something on the TV still on.
Yeah.
And because I remember, like, I had this memory, because I can't ever fall asleep. Even to this day, it's really hard for me to fall asleep. It's a lot better now. But, like, I remember we watched the SpongeBob movie. Mm-hmm. We've seen it, like, 50 times at this point already. We're, like, 10. You fell asleep within, like, 10, 30, maybe in, like, a little ways through the movie. But you fell asleep. I kept on trying to. I think I was on the top bunk. And then I turned back around, and I just have to keep on watching it because I hear a part that I remember, whatever. Then it finally ends, gets to the credits, and then goes back to the title page. No. And I can't fall asleep because of the title page.
It's got the people like knee slapping and stuff.
Yeah.
And like Plankton laughing.
Yeah. And I just keep on having to watch it. I don't know why. And it's just, I don't know. I should have just went down there and just turned it off. But it was like the light of it and then the sound of it.
That's the show though. I don't think that song's in the movie.
Oh.
We probably had a disc that had like 3 or 4 episodes on it.
Maybe. I don't know, but it kept me up. But we never had a TV in our room until me and Adrian did. But we were in high school,
older,
yeah, and we were only allowed to have it on weekends, I think, and like just for like a movie or whatever, and then that's something that I did appreciate that my parents did, and it sucked growing up. But then like as you get older, you realize it's a good thing. But like at 10 o'clock, we had to go to bed, and our phones had to go on this nightstand in the living room, and like there'd be a pile of all of our phones. It had to go right there. Too. Yeah, and it was great, but it was downstairs. My parents were upstairs. I had sneaky brothers, so they'd just walk over there, grab it, turn it on. I never did that. And I don't know if they all did that, but
yeah. See, like as a kid, that's one of those rules. It's like, why? But once you get older, and like you've experienced the internet, it's like, yeah. How about you leave the phone over here?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
And I would have been up so late.
Yeah.
So late if I had my phone.
I spent a lot of time watching Netflix at night.
Or freaking YouTube or whatever. Like
watch The Office. I watched a lot of The Office just on my bed.
Yeah. The only good thing about that, because like I said, I can't fall asleep with something on, but I can get really tired with something on. So then I get to turn it off. Maybe fall asleep. But
yeah.
Let's see
what else we got?
Well, so one of the things I found was they didn't even say like cold turkey or anything like that, but they said just reduce screen time, and it says strengthen the bond between parent and child.
Right.
That should be a must. Encourage children to take an active role in managing their screen time, such as setting timers.
My mom did that for Connor for a while.
Oh, really?
On his phone.
Screen timing. Sharing the screen time experience with children when possible. I guess it just means so it's anytime they're on it, you need to be monitoring it, obviously.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to YouTube. Like we're watching YouTube at my parents' house. Zeke was, and just turning on random stuff, and he wasn't even at my parents. He was just on his phone, and it was something really, really weird and almost demonic. And I told Jacob about it. He's like, "What?" And he saw, and he turned it off. And then limit screen time as much as possible.
Yeah, there's a show on YouTube right now called The Amazing Digital Circus. Have you heard of it?
I feel like I heard something about this.
Well, it's something that Axel found, which is my girlfriend's son, for people that don't know. And he found it, and he was like, if he liked it, and he like asked us to watch it with him. And I guess it's like under YouTube Kids because it's animated.
Yeah.
But they were like using the F word, but not like they would bleep it out and stuff. And it's like stuff like that. It's like it's animated. It looks like a kid show and stuff, but then they would do stuff like that. And then like Sarah was like, no, this.
Yeah, you ain't watching.
So this is the thing, like you just have to be careful on YouTube because
even on YouTube Kids. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's that's what we're saying. Yeah, monitoring is a good thing. It feels like you're hovering, I guess, and like I'm sure the child feels kind of hovered. And like if you tell a kid, hey, this isn't gonna happen, like sure it's gonna like upset him a little bit, but like I say down the road you'll understand.
But the internet is such a dangerous place because like growing up, my mom made sure that we only watched certain channels. Even then, she didn't like some of the shows that were on that channel, and she would know that and tell us we couldn't watch it or whatever. But she also still knew, though, that if we were watching just Disney, even if there were shows she didn't care for, because she always thought that the parents were stupid, which they normally were.
Yeah.
Even if we were watching that channel, there would never be anything that just like really was something we shouldn't watch, like really bad. But in YouTube, you get on the rabbit trail, and before long, it's something. It could be anything.
It could be anything.
So
yeah, YouTube is dangerous.
Yeah, it can be educational,
and
but it can be dangerous.
TikTok and stuff.
Oh, dude, I would. I would never let my kid have TikTok.
I don't even know what age you like. Honestly, like my mom let me have Instagram at 13, I think, and like even now, I'm just like I don't even know, cause like the guidelines are getting worse and worse. Like whatever
Especially
the heck
TikTok.
Whatever the heck Zendaya wore to the gala thing. What's that thing called? Like, no. No, it wasn't the Met Gala. I think it was the premiere to Dune. Whatever she wore, like, pictures of, like, they shouldn't be able to dress like that in public. And pictures like that shouldn't be, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta, like, the filters on social media have gotten so whatever. Because, like, you can post nudity because it's artistic.
Yeah.
You know, like,
this is
but
art. But really,
but you're naked.
Yeah.
So,
and the idea of when they're posting it is to be
they're
naked.
doing it to be edgy. Yeah.
And that's why I don't like TikTok, because all the trends on TikTok have always been thirst traps, basically, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And the worst part about it is, it wasn't that a bunch of these women were doing it. It was that kids, you know? Like the WAP.
Yeah, and you got kids dancing to that song.
I'm like, golly. And that goes back to, like, the adults that should be setting an example. And the adults are people like Nicki Minaj. Was that Nicki Minaj that did a song?
Yeah, Cardi B.
One
of the two.
Yeah. Either way. But yeah, that's why I'm like, no. TikTok, that's out.
Also, yeah, music. We're just talking about raising a kid now. Music is also dangerous. Music is also dangerous. Like, I know that Sierra has, like, they share an Apple thing, and he has a certain playlist, so, like, she can see what he's adding to his playlist or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, stuff like that. Like, you have to, like, yeah, you have to. Because, like, even music is so trash now.
I'm one of those people that growing up, I did not believe the idea of what you listen to, like, can change you or change your character. Like, it can be a negative, whatever. Because I was always the type that, because I listened mainly Christian rap, but then there's a point where I started listening more rap. And I was like, oh, you know, I just like the beat or whatever, which was true, I normally did. But, like, the older I get, more I realize that those songs that I might not have been listening to the words, but subconsciously I was, and you can tell the effect that it gives on it. But that was just something that I never really truly believed for a while until I started getting older.
It's totally a thing.
And especially as I get older, the songs that come out are just terrible.
They're horrible now.
And it's like, it doesn't even make sense. And it's like, what is this?
It's like, why are we singing it? Why are we rapping about this?
Yeah. That's why, like, I always love rap, but when someone's like, oh yeah, like someone's like, yeah, what do you listen to? And someone speaks for me about, oh yeah, he likes rap. Listen, no, I like Christian rap. So there's a difference. I can respect some rap as far as the poetry goes or the lyricism. Like Eminem, very vulgar on some of the things, but I can respect him as a rapper.
Because he's got game.
Because he has game. But I don't know, it's just like, yeah, I don't tell people that I like rap. Because I did that one time. I was working at Hughes Pines and then was working with this guy. He's like, oh, what type of music are you listening to? And I just happened to say rap. He's like, oh, okay. This is when I had not heard any rap before. Like real rap. Like explicit rap. He's like, boom, and it starts like, dude, it was heavy. And I was like, So please turn this off.
And like, yeah, once you mention you like rap, then they want to ask you like, oh, yo, what's your favorite Tupac song or Biggie or like, what do you think about, what's the guy out right now? J. Cole or I don't even know who's the rappers out right now.
J. Cole, Kendrick, stuff like that.
Drake. I don't know if Drake's a rapper, really.
I wouldn't consider him a rapper.
He is.
He is, but he's not.
And like Kendrick's another person I can respect for lyricism.
Yeah.
And, like poetry.
Yeah.
But yeah, like all those other people, those old people, like I did not dive into rap like going backwards.
I don't honestly. I can't tell you an actual Tupac song if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I'm sure like I've heard one. Like I'm sure there is one that I've heard, but like yeah, like, I'm not gonna go dig into all of that.
No.
Like I get that like, they like made hip hop what it is, but also like I don't know. I don't know.
So how do you prevent the iPad baby from ever happening?
Well, what you said earlier, what was the one about spending time because you want to strengthen your relationship with your kid?
Strengthen a bond between parent and child? That one, or?
Yeah. Well, there should be a bond between the parent and child before the iPad comes into the picture. That's what I look at.
Yeah.
Like, you need to go ahead and establish that before you even, like, give them technology.
Yeah.
I think. There's, like, a weird, like, thing, like, because, like, also, like, back in the day, you remember, like, the leapfrog things? Like, that was technology, but they were, like, learning games.
Yeah. And it was very, very simple technology, too.
Yeah, like Bradley had one.
And there was no room for exploring or whatever.
He had like Spider-Man and like Go Diego Go or something, but they were like, they were teaching you stuff.
I remember playing that, even though it's too old.
I think he even had a Ben 10 one.
Probably.
Yeah. It's just like stuff like that. Like once you do give them technology, give them stuff like that.
Yeah.
Teaches them, I don't know, how to read or something. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
Reading, shapes.
I think I like my nephew and my niece, but like Emma, dude, like they're Zeke has a Switch and he loves playing it, or like loves playing Pokemon, and sometimes he's pretty invested in it. But
he plays it with Jacob though, right?
He plays the Switch a lot of times with Jacob, so it's normally at night anyways. They're always outside. Like if I drive by their house, they're always outside, and you can tell their feet be nasty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a good sign. But like Emma, you can tell she is very, very creative, very artistic, which is like really crazy for just being her age and stuff. And then Zeke, I always thought he was a super, super smart kid. Eli, well, you know, he's like 2, so I don't know yet. But sure. I think they're doing good. They're never going to listen to us, so they won't hear the compliment. But I think they're doing pretty good. Yeah, they have a lot of screen time as well, like any other kid. But I think the way they even it out is honestly pretty good.
Yeah. Good.
But that's all I have on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, pretty much. And like another thing is like, this isn't really coming out of judgment. It's coming out of like just our opinions.
Definitely.
I think. Yeah, like if you're listening to this and you're just like, oh well, they must not like me. Oh, it's whatever. It's like no. This is just saying how we want to raise our kids. You know what I'm saying?
This is the ideal how we want to do this, but.
I mean,
parents did either, so it's like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's
subject.
easy. It's easy for us to say because we're not parents.
Yeah, that's like normally like the topic or discussion I normally say with Jesse. Like if we're out in public and I see something like that happen, I normally go on a rant when we're heading home, or whatever. And then, but I always end it with, well, you know, we don't have a kid yet, or
we're not in their shoes,
or we're not them. Yeah, we don't know what's happening. It's their life, not ours. And that's really about anything. If I go off a rant, I always try to bring it back to that because, I mean, I will never walk in your shoes. So I will never know. Yeah. So it's always just my personal opinion and preference. So.
Yeah, it's true because it could be, you never know, it could be an aunt taking the baby out and then the mom's like, well, here's his iPad, you know? This is what he's used to. And maybe the aunt doesn't spend a lot of time with him. So, like, that's just like, but it looks like a mom and a kid.
Yeah. Yeah, and the aunt's never...
Yeah.
Taking care of a kid or anything either.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. If I'm sure whenever me and Jesse take out all of Jacob's kids, it's probably very similar to that. I don't think they have an iPad or anything, but I feel like it's... You can tell we're stressing out. You'd be like, wow, they look like they don't know how to parent. Well, the other fact is, we don't.
These aren't our kids. Yeah. Yeah.
But... So, you know, the moral of the story is, guys... Avoid the iPad baby stage as much as possible. Because guess what? When they become teenagers, they're going to get a phone or something eventually. And it's probably going to be inevitable. It's probably just going to happen. You can still try to, you know, keep that from happening. But you're better off letting it happen in a later stage in life for your kid than being the first thing. Establish that relationship. Be there for your kid. That's like, man, my goal, especially now, like the reality setting in that I'm about to be a parent. But like, I've always, and I know it's just not going to be like this, but like when my kid's upset or like crying, I want to just be like, hey, and like just get down to their level physically, like on my knee or whatever, just grab them by the hand or the shoulder or whatever, and be like, hey, listen. And then like, just be very calm with them and explain. And just like, I want to be like, was it on Fresh Prince? What's Will's uncle's name? Uncle Phil? You know, he's just always like deep and like super wise and just like keeps it real with Will.
Real with Will.
Yeah, that's how like I want to be, even like with my kid. Like sometimes, like, hey, listen, this is this, and we can't do this, and then I just want the response to be like, oh yeah, Dad, thank you. You know, which it's not gonna be like that. But I want to be that. I don't want to be a yelling dad, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I know my kids are going to test my patience, and that's a part of it. And I don't ever want to give my kid a spanking, but I know I will.
Yeah.
And discipline and love.
That's right.
But I want to be the parent that can be very calm about it. And what always pops in my head, the parent that always pops in my head is Blaine. Blaine Shuttleworth. I feel like that's the kind of guy he is. That he was always just like, hey, like really calm with him. Because Blaine, I think I've seen Blaine mad a couple times in my life, but like, he's pretty chill about everything. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of how I strive to be, just like real chill and laid back. But hey, when I need to.
And that's like I don't. I feel like my temper used to be worse. Like I feel like definitely in my teenage years, I feel like we got snappy for sure. That's also like hormones, though, I think.
Right.
But I feel like I've gotten more like about like if something like being confronted or something, and like that's something Sierra and I have talked about. I'm like, look, if I do something you don't like don't like we both have the same thing. Like we both talk like don't like come at me. Like if you just want to like hey like
pull me aside, let me know.
Yeah, just like hey like that. Like if it's something I do something to hurt your feelings, don't be like get defensive and all this.
Yeah.
Just be like, hey.
And I get it because sometimes in the heat of the moment though, like you say something like you're gonna come back, like, hey, why'd you do that?
Yeah.
But I think that's how it needs to be, like on both sides.
Yeah.
Is try to keep a level head about things.
And that's what we've talked about that too. It's like because like I don't want to like cause a scene and like I don't want to yell at you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like. So like that's the way I see it. It's like even if you are kind of upset, maybe just like kind of like you show you're upset and just be like, hey, it's okay. It's like well, maybe we should talk.
Yeah, and I feel like for the most part, me and Jess is kind of like that. Like if I said something stupid or whatever and it upset her, like sometimes she won't, be like, why no, you can't say that or whatever. Like sometimes she just won't say anything or whatever. Or but like I know her well enough to read her. And then I'm like, okay, I'm about to get laid into in a little bit, And then like in a little bit, she'll come over to me and tell me, or I'll be like, hey, what's wrong? And it's when we're like, oh, nothing. What's wrong? Nothing. And then she'll tell me or whatever. But it's nice when it's like that instead of the alternative.
Yeah.
But again, I also understand when sometimes it is the alternative.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I'm sure like eventually it'll happen. Because anger is gonna like. It's
inevitable.
It's inevitable, but like that's the approach we've.
But set. To try to prolong it the longest possible, definitely the better. So.
And also it's like, if something upsets you, tell me because we don't want it to like be like pimped up because if it does pimp up, then you are gonna blow up. Pent up, not pimp.
Yeah, I always say bottled up.
Bottled up.
That's my problem is because like you said you feel like your temper is better. I feel like mine's a lot better as well, but at the cost of me typically, like if it's something that someone said that bothered me or whatever, I tend to bottle things up instead of like just lashing out right then. I tend to bottle it up until they said too many things and it just and then like blows up whatever.
Yeah.
And then I go off a big rant and then it's like, well, all those times you didn't say anything, it didn't matter because you just kind of ruined it all.
Yeah.
So I try to work on that.
Yeah. This is relationship advice too. What do you know?
Dang, man. we're wise dudes, dude.
Yeah. But people actually come to us for opinions.
Yeah, that's why we're doing a podcast, so we can just give our opinions.
Did you see all the?
Asked us.
Well, I guess you didn't because you don't have Instagram. I don't either, but I got on today to post about the podcast dropping with Luke.
And
apparently, when I posted the picture of us last week, we gained like a lot of followers because Luke's so dang popular.
Dang, that's crazy.
So
man.
We might even get more today after it's been out. I don't know. I haven't checked.
Yeah.
So. We might have a whole lot of more listeners.
Oh man,
they're all just like high schoolers.
And like the first like podcast to listen to after Luke's was us talking about our opinions on how parenthood should be.
Yeah, and they're all like,
aren't these guys like 20?
Yeah, these guys are like, how
old
are these
guys?
guys?
Kids, do they?
No,
we do not. But we can still voice our opinion. It's freedom of speech, brother.
Oh yeah, everyone's entitled to opinion.
Hey,
so.
And I'm gonna get mine.
You're dang right.
But
depending on the circumstance.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm just like, I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah, sometimes better. And honestly, like running a podcast is like one of the hardest things in the world, especially like for like me and like this side of the world that we're in, and like our belief and stuff, it is really, really hard for me to like find the line between like speaking up and saying things to like defend and back up like what I believe, or like when there's things in the world going on, you're like, you definitely don't agree, especially because you believe. So you want to like mention it on the podcast, but then you don't want to go too far where you're just like, I don't know.
Yeah. And also, like, I don't think politics are the reason people come to listen to this show.
Right.
And like world events, big world events, like, do they really care what we think?
Yeah.
They probably don't care what we think about iPad babies.
Honestly, probably not.
But we obviously care because we spent 50 minutes on it.
I told you like right before, I was like, man, I don't think we're going to get into our topics. If we can get 30 minutes, then we're probably not going to do our topics. So we're here at 50 minutes, dude.
This is also something like, I feel like a topical thing is not bad.
Yeah.
So if you're listening and you do have something you want us to talk about.
If you do have something that you want to hear our opinion about.
Yeah. And there's something you're like, what? I really wonder what they think about this. Hit us up in the DM.
I can just see like a group of teenagers like talking like, man, like what do we do about this? What do we do about this? Dude, let's ask the Gonzalez and Galyean podcast. We can get an answer in a week.
Yeah.
And hey, we'll go into depth, dude. Not depth, but debt.
Debt.
Depth.
Depth.
and give our opinions, but we are going to go to one topic: reflect and deflect.
Okay.
Reflect and deflect. Potentially reflect, deflect on the whole episode. It just depends on what my future looks like with my kid.
Potential. So. Yeah. Yeah. And like we said, we didn't come here to ruffle feathers.
No ruffling of the feathers.
We're not attacking. We're not judging. It's not judgment. It's we've noticed things, and that's just not how we want to raise our children.
We have perceived.
It's observing.
Observing.
And redirecting.
Ooh,
I don't know. Yeah.
It's reflecting. And deflecting.
And deflecting.
Ooh.
That's all it is.
That's all it is, guys. That's all it is. But
then, if you feel convicted, you're like, man, when I'm at home at night, my kid doesn't talk to me because they're on their thing. Maybe this was what you needed to hear. And like you said, break it over your knee. And just be like, guess what? We're building a puzzle tonight.
Dump squash.
1,500 pieces. Let's go.
Oof, that'd be tough.
Get a puzzle of an iPad. And it's like, guess what? When you finish this, you can play on your iPad again.
Not a bad idea. I need to do that. We'll start selling that as Gonzalez Galyean merch.
An iPad puzzle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cancel iPad babies.
You know, like the kid puzzles where like they're like the thing with like they're like wooden.
So that has like the little handle too.
Yeah, like iPad things, like little like that way. It's like a puzzle. You have to learn to put it in the right spot.
It also brings back the creativity for kids.
Yeah,
and learning shapes and stuff.
Yeah, you have to do the different shapes.
Oh man, marketing. I love
marketing.
It. Marketing is best.
I wish we had money to do the stuff.
Dude. But no, we're right here.
Speaking of, we're gonna start a GoFundMe for the Gonzalez and podcast.
We're broke. We're broke.
Yeah.
Oh well. It's been lovely. It's been a good time.
It's been pretty good, yeah.
Episode 80 of the iPad Babies. And like we said, you want to hear our opinion or us to voice our opinion on something else, you just let us know in the comments or on Instagram or something.
Yeah.
But
or come up to us if you know us personally. Just say, hey, guess what? I heard the podcast, and
and we'll get right into it. We'll dive right into it. Mm-hmm. But without further ado, guys, Gonzalez
Galyean out.